anyways, I played h6, and he played queen f4, and now I start seeing the tactics start to unfold here. Queen takes, g takes. He opened up that long file down to his king, and a lot of this is forced. Bishop takes, h takes, rook takes, check. Queen can't cover it because I would just win the queen. So king h2. Otherwise, he loses his queen. That's the only option he really has. I suppose king h1 might work as well. I'm just going to play this until g2 or g1, something like that. We can repeat. I'd play e5 here. This would have worked. But king h2, and here I played f5. I've been thinking a lot about different tactics where he'd come down when I had that bishop here, coming down with his queen and taking the unprotected bishop. I didn't want to give that up. I felt like it was helping me hold my position together for a while until I traded with this bishop. So here I was nervous about his queen coming in here for some reason. I'm not sure why. And I played f5, which is a mistake because I missed a lot of these checks here that I could have made. And e5. That would have worked out really well for me. But so I missed it. I was nervous and I wanted to tighten up back here. So I played f5. My opponent played rook to g1. He wants to trade over here to eliminate the threats I might have on these checks. I played rook h5, which is the best move. King g2 is pretty much forced. If he comes out, king g3. I got a lot of tactics here. I can play e5, attacking the queen. I can play d4, attacking the knight, and after the knight retreats, then e5. His queen's getting jammed up here. He'll take here, f4 check. And you'll notice here that if this is what he plays, I have a checkmate. And that's the point of moving these pawns out of the way of my queen. So queen takes f4 is a big mistake. He has to play king takes f4 here. At which point I win the queen. So taking that pawn isn't an option, or if it is, he gets checkmated quickly. He has to back off even further, something like this. And he's walking into forced mates here. There's a big attack. I should have been moving those pawns down, and I didn't have time to see it. I started to run into some time trouble here because I started to slow down a lot. So anyways, rook g5 after he moved his rook out here. He played king g2, and I thought about repeating the position once or twice, but I didn't want to leave myself on the wrong side of that repeating where I realized that the other move is better, and now I'll walk into a mate by threefold repetition, or a draw by threefold repetition. And so I didn't screw around with it. I just went ahead and played knight to g6, attacking his queen, making his queen find another good square. He goes back to queen d2. And now you can see my pieces are starting to swing towards the king side. Usually I'm attacking on the queen side here. My opponent forced things in the wrong way on the king side, and I was able and flexible enough to bring my pieces back, defend here, and then mount a king side attack. And that's the good part about this game, I think, with the pawn structure, the way I have it, and the way I situate my pieces, and especially the slow development of this knight coming in this way has helped me be able to be flexible. And this bishop again is slow too. So I can stay flexible in these exchange variations and be able to come back to the king side if I need to, which is always important. Now I spent a lot of time right here because I realized that this is a very crucial moment in the game, and I figured that there was probably a couple of much more forcing and winning tactics here, and I missed a couple of good options that I didn't see. Primarily knight h4 check. I thought about this one for a while and I couldn't figure out how to make it work out for me. I was seeing things where obviously like king h1 or something like that, king f1 are the kind of options. King f1, I was hopefully trying to get my queen on this diagonal and work a mating option, but his knight was defending it. Knight h4, king h1 is probably is very bad for him because now I have a double check and fork here. You can see his knight and I'm sorry, not a double check, a single check and fork. His knight and rook or queen and rook are both hanging. I win the queen. So h1 wasn't a good square. King h2 likewise, triple fork at this point, double check and triple fork. So if I played that knight check, where am I? Knight check, king f1 is forced. At which point knight f3. Now this doesn't quite win a rook actually, and this is why I didn't play this move. Because I realized that I wouldn't actually win the rook. Because once he plays back to d1 here, when I take, he has queen takes rook check, and if we trade or something like that, he wins my knight, and now I'm just down a piece, and I've lost. So this fork doesn't work out for tactical reasons because he can defend on a diagonal that would grab my hanging rook, and that's why I didn't play it. I saw that check and that queen move, and so I didn't play knight to h4 check here. Now it actually can work out for other reasons. If you play knight h4, king f1, knight takes f3, he plays queen to d1, and instead of taking here, I just come back and check him again. Coming to g2 is not an option now because I have queen g7 check, something like this, and there's actually a very pretty mate here. Got everything blocked up now, and so queen to g2 wouldn't work. So he'd have to play out on the e file, something like this. I'm still doing really well here, but I didn't see how that worked out well, and I thought there was something maybe slightly more forceful. So after queen d2, I castled queenside here, and it's not a bad move. It's almost as good as playing the knight check. I wanted to be able to get my rook into this side, and I wanted to eliminate the possibility of his rook coming down after I checked him and checking me and winning my rook. I just saw some things I was nervous about, so I played castle here. And my opponent played rook to h1. Now here I missed a big tactic. I didn't realize, I didn't see it at the time. I can ignore this rook capture and play queen to g7. I'm sorry, I'm lost for a second here. Rook h1. I could have played queen g7, and if he takes with the rook, I have a mate in here. We have check. If he goes to the h file, say he goes here, this is a mate. If he goes back, then this is a mate, and I just didn't see it. So my opponent walked into a mate here, and I'm guessing he wouldn't have seen it and would have taken the rook if I had played my queen to g7. But now he's stuck. Basically, he doesn't want to walk into those checkmates, and he has to get off of this file, and then I can just win a ton of material. And my opponent would have to resign at this point. If he doesn't get off of that file, let's say he makes some queen move or something, thinking you see something else. Again, we have a mate in 2. Oops, there, I missed the mate. There it is.